In 2015, I entered my first year of middle school. It was a crazy transition, but one thing I felt that I could rely on was sports. I had been playing soccer all my life, through my years in elementary school. I thought middle school would be no different, and for a while, it was not. But I started noticing that one of my teammates started outperforming me in every single way, and no matter how much I tried, it seemed like I could not catch up. No matter how much work I put in, it never seemed like enough. I'm a very prideful person, and it just felt unbearable to see this person I once thought as my equal surpass me in every way. However, eventually, I started watching a show that would change my perspective on this. I remember talking to one of my friends on the team about an anime called Haikyuu. I have been into anime almost all my life, but I've never given a sports anime a chance. This one would be no different as it was about volleyball, considering I had zero interest in the sport. But my friend kept pushing me, so I decided to give it a chance. It turned out to be terrific, and I loved every moment of it. But I grew very attached to one character, a character I felt that I could relate to and that would inspire me, Toru Oikawa. Toru Oikawa and his team Alba Josai are the first obstacles that our main characters, the team Karasuno, must overcome. Oikawa was a mentor figure to one of Karasuno's players, Tobio Kageyama. When we first meet Oikawa, he is a pompous jerk who is very arrogant and full of himself. However, looking at his backstory, we see that this is just a facade, a face he puts on. For Toru Oikawa, volleyball is life. He devotes everything he can to this sport, but no matter how much effort he seems to put in, he still feels that he is not good enough. Oikawa has two rivals in the story, one being Tobio Kageyama from Karasuno, his protege and a person that he sees as surpassing him every way one day, and that thought terrifies Oikawa. And the person he has not been able to beat since middle school, the captain of his rival team, Ushiwaka. Now he is surrounded on two fronts, with the person he has never beaten and with the person who will undoubtedly surpass him in terms of talent one day. This starts to overwhelm Oikawa. He starts to believe that he is not good enough and that one day everyone he knows will leave him behind. When Oikawa and Kageyama were still teammates, in a moment of built-up rage, he almost hits Kageyama. He feels he cannot take the fact that one day he will be left in the dust. Only when his friend Iwa talks some sense into him does he get his head back on straight. However, this is starting to have a huge effect on Oikawa. He loves this sport so much that he devotes everything to it. He even gets injured trying to make himself better. However, no matter how far he pushes himself, he will never be able to catch up to Ushiwaka or stop the progression of Tobio Kageyama. One day, he will not even be a roadblock for these two. However, he does not see that these players view him in a great way. Kageyama admires him. He is the goal that Kageyama strives for, to be that kind of player. Furthermore, Ushiwaka has such an extreme respect for Oikawa that he wishes Oikawa would have came to his school and played on his team.
Oikawa, I wish he could have come here with us. He's an excellent player.
Well, you're the ace here, so that means he'd be devoted to you.
Regardless of where he is or who he's playing with, Oikawa can bring out the best in his entire team. A weak team will become a powerful one, and a stronger team will become unstoppable. That's Oikawa's talent.
Toru Oikawa is not a genius. However, does that mean that he can never be a great player? This is a question that he asks himself throughout the anime. Moreover, he realizes that he is not alone on the court. He has a whole team beside him, and he may never be as gifted as Tobio Kageyama or Ushiwaka. However, he can still fight against both of them, even though in the end he loses to Kageyama. It is not one of bitterness, but one of inspiration to push forward, and his final conversation with Ushiwaka is one of the greatest moments in the anime.
お前は道を間違った。もっと力を発揮できる場所があったのに、取るに足らないプライドのために、お前はそれを選ばなかった。
取るに足らないプライド。確かにね。聞けよ牛島。 俺は自分の選択が間違いだと思ったことはないし、俺のバレーは何一つ終わっていない。取るに足らないこのプライド、絶対に覚えておけよ。
This character has changed my perspective on life and sports. Yes, there will always be somebody better than you, and no matter how much effort you put in, you won't be able to catch up to those geniuses. And it will always hurt because you love the sport so much. But does that mean your time is worthless or meaningless? It does not. Somewhere along the road, we forget that sports are supposed to be fun and you are supposed to enjoy them. Toru Oikawa helped me see that and inspired me to be better.